Now, students, Dante said that the hottest places in hell are reserved for those who, in times of a great moral crisis, maintain their neutrality. So again, let me repeat that one more time. A famous quote from Dante says that the hottest places in hell are reserved for those who, in times of great moral crisis, maintain their neutrality. Well, perhaps one of the greatest moral issues of all time that we need to deal with is this whole issue of abortion. And as a matter of fact, one of the greatest moral issues of our day is abortion and how Americans, especially right here on the university campus, deals with that particular issue. And so I'm pleased to see this organization, GAP, come out this morning and make a bold stand for truth, a bold stand for life. And students, I want to encourage you to talk to the people, the men and the women that are behind the barricade right here. Look at these pictures and see for yourself where you stand in the midst of this great moral crisis. Where would you stand as far as the reality of the unborn? And it's a very important issue. It's a very important question. And so many people at the U of A, even though we're involved in an institution of higher learning, that's what the university is. It's known as an institution of higher learning. And here at the U of A, you can come and get your degree, your doctor's degree, your master's degree, your PhD. But so often, even with all the knowledge that is here on the University of Arizona, at this Institute of Higher Learning, yet students so often are totally ignorant when it comes to the reality of the unborn. So many times when I talk to people, students, and I ask them, well, when does human life begin? A lot of you students don't know when human life begins. It's a situation and it's a question that you leave up in the air. Well, it's very clear when human life begins, and one of the most marvelous aspects of this display here is that it will show you exactly what a developing baby is like. And so we're here to ask some questions to find out what you students really think about the issue. You need to ask yourself, well, where do I stand on this issue of human life? When does human life begin? A lot of people don't know. A lot of people can't answer that question. When does human life begin? And students, ask yourself that for just a minute. Do you know that on the University of Arizona campus, like every other university and college campus across the United States, right here on the university is the age group where up to 80% of all the abortions happen. Ladies and gentlemen, you got to think about this right here in your age group, between the ages of 18 and 24, 80 to 90%. Well, no, I'm wrong on that. I'm sorry. At least 60% of all the abortions that happen in the age group between 18 and 24. So the vast majority of abortions happen right among college women today. And ladies, some of you are struggling about that. Some of you women are in a crisis in your life. We understand that. You know, we understand what can happen when a young woman finds herself unexpectedly pregnant. Many testimonies of people can also be in that same situation where they have, I myself was in that situation of a crisis pregnancy when I was in college. And so what is it about? What is it about this situation and about this argument? And I'd like to ask your opinions. Ladies, I'd like to get some of your opinions about when you think human life begins. As a matter of fact, I have a poster right here. And I'd like to show this poster. And ladies, I'd like to ask you Here is a poster of a baby 7 weeks from conception. Young man, let me ask you a question. Well, I know, but do you think this has any human characteristics? You do? Very good, very good. So the question is, here, right here, ladies and gentlemen, students, right here. This is where virtually 80 to 90% of all abortions happen, is at this stage right here. Young lady, did you know that? Now, what do you think about that? Where are you at on the issue? You don't take a stand? How come? Well, let me ask you a question. So when you see this little, they call that like a little fetus here. Well, of course, I call it a baby. 7 weeks from conception. Can you notice any human characteristics? What can you see? So do you think that's human?
Yeah.
Very good, young lady.
Yeah, scientifically speaking, it is a human when it's an embryo. When it starts up to be an embryo, it's considered a human. So killing it is technically considered murder.
Well, I would agree with you. Well, earlier I was saying that between 70 and 90% of all abortions in the United States today happen right around this portion. The first trimester, by the time a woman finds out that might be pregnant, yeah, she misses her period, then she goes down and gets a pregnancy test, and by the time she decides to maybe have an abortion, the baby would look about like this. So let me ask you a question. So are you for abortion or against abortion? You're against. Very good. But young lady, now is there a reason why? Do you have like a religious?
I'm from Africa, and basically with abortion, it's like we believe it's killing a human being, and if anybody, regardless of whether you're raped or not, if you do have an abortion, you're killing a human being, therefore you're committing a sin, and we're big on religion down there, so it's considered not acceptable. If whether you're raped or not, you're supposed to have that child, and if you don't want the child, somebody else can raise the child.
Yeah,
So
that's beautiful. That's a beautiful thing. So your culture is pro-life. Well, that's wonderful. Well, that's good to hear. There's a young lady right here, a University of Arizona student who's pro-life. That's a wonderful thing. She understands about human life, when human life begins. I'd like to ask some of you university students what your opinion is on abortion. Young man, what do you think about that picture right there? Now, students, what I'm trying to ask is your opinion on what do you think about abortion? Where do you stand on the issue? And as you look at a picture like this, here's a picture of a fetus at 7 weeks from conception. And I asked the lady just now, I said, young lady, does this picture have any human characteristics to you? And she admitted, yes, it does. It does have human characteristics. Tana.
What's going on?
Tana, how are you doing?
Good. Do you like this? Is this your shrine or what?
Tana, I love this display. What do you think?
I don't like it too much. I'm sorry.
What?
I think it's obnoxious, and I think these are people's babies. These are human lives, and to just plaster them up there to just like make a point and image it, very, very intrusive.
Well, now, Tana, do you think that those pictures are fake, or do you think those pictures are real?
I don't think those pictures should be used.
What?
Because I think that if you're trying to appreciate life so much, then you shouldn't throw like a huge picture of it in the middle of a mall. That was a dead baby, You're not going to like put like a rape and abused and like strangled woman's picture up on a billboard just to make a point, right?
But Tana, but the question is though, are those pictures indicative of something that's real or fake? Are they doctored, do you think, or do you think that those pictures are really?
I think they're real. I just think that this whole thing is obnoxious.
Young lady, what do you think about those pictures?
I know that a lot of the pictures that are used in these sort of movements are miscarried babies and not aborted babies.
So you think those are miscarriages right there?
I've seen pictures like that are abortion images.
I'll be right back.
All right, Tana. So are you saying, in your mind, are you negating the force of the pictures because you're thinking that those are actually just...
You're a fucking idiot!
Now, young lady, come on. Come on over here and talk. Let's talk about this. So are you saying that right there, that baby right there, 10-week aborted baby, you think that's a miscarriage right there?
I'm saying that I've seen images like that before that have been miscarried images under the guise of being abortions. I'm not saying that that's what it is, but that's what I've seen before, and it's manipulating it to what you want to, the message you want to take across, when it's really a miscarriage.
Okay, let me ask you a question. So see that one right there that says a 10-week aborted baby?
Yeah. Oh, yeah.
Well, that's an actual picture of an aborted baby, not a miscarriage.
Okay.
So how do you feel about, look at that picture right there. How do you feel about that? Do you think that that's...
I feel like you're trying to get a rise out of everybody.
No, I'm trying to ask you as a woman. As a woman, how does that make you feel when you see that particular picture?
It makes me feel upset that you're using that to try to make people upset. That's what I'm getting upset about.
I'm a little confused. Why do you think that I'm trying to get a rise out of people?
Because you wouldn't... I can't even have this discussion. I'm getting too worked up. Thank you.
Well, let me ask you one more question quickly. So where do you stand on the issue? Are you You're pro-choice.
Pro-choice.
Okay. Well, that makes sense. But you're not asking it, but we're trying to find out if that, I understand that you're pro-choice, but look at those photos right there and ask me, my question is that human right there? Is that baby right there, young lady, is that a baby?
Could that baby survive outside of the womb?
That baby 10 weeks? No. But why, what difference would that make even if it can?
It's not a human being. It can't survive without...
It hasn't had a life yet, man. It hasn't lived experiences that we've had. You know what I mean?
All right, now wait a minute.
Say for yourself, when you yourself are not a woman, you will not really know what we go through.
Well, now I understand what you're saying, but let me ask you a question. Let's pretend, here's a picture of an actual baby
People come around.
at 7 weeks from conception. Now, can you notice any human characteristics on that?
Still hasn't lived. I'm sorry, but if I got raped, I would have no problem getting an abortion. I would not want a child brought into this world if I wasn't fully prepared for it.
Okay, so are you saying that you're for abortion in the cases of rape, but you would
For
not
abortion, just in general. Definitely.
in general? So rape probably represents maybe 0.05% of all the abortions that happen. So we're looking at 99.5% abortions. And then when a woman's life is in danger, it's about 1.5%.
Put it on! Come on, I made it for you!
So young lady, what I'm trying to find out, do you think that the baby, and young lady, you too, do you think that those babies right there, do they have a choice in the matter?
It's not yet a human being yet.
And why do you say that it is not yet a human being?
Because it has not been into life yet. It's still in the
survive outside of the womb.
Yes.
Okay, so are you drawing a line? Would you be drawing a line? In other words, when do you believe that the baby...
24 weeks. There you go.
That's 6 months, right? All right, well, at 6 months, you know, viability, they have babies.
I don't believe in abortion after 6 months.
Yeah.
I think that's wrong.
And young lady, you too?
When it starts forming
When you
fully,
can,
yeah.
that's when they have the ability and capacity to feel pain. That's when I think that's wrong.
Well, you know, they say that the nervous system begins to develop, I think, at 6 weeks. 3 to 6 weeks. That's, I mean, rudimentary. You know, rudimentary. But they can actually feel sensations at that time. Would that change? Ladies, how about the heartbeat? The heartbeat begins to beat at 3 weeks.